Hello, lovely souls, and welcome to day 2 of the 31 Days of Tarot. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, I will go ahead every single day. I'm going to link Anthony's post in the description box below so that you can follow along with the prompts and actually make some responses of your own if you'd like to. You can post on Instagram. You can make a video response like I am on YouTube. You can post to your Facebook page, wherever you feel comfortable on social media. Even if you just want to follow along in your tarot journal, 31 Days of Tarot is a really great exercise to dive into and kind of deepen your tarot practice. So this is my second year doing it and following Anthony's prompts, and I really enjoyed last year. And I'm already enjoying this year, even though it's only day 2. So we're going to dive into today's prompt, which is the top 5 tarot decks that either you purchased or were released for 2017 that you picked up. So for me, I have a combination here. And I acquired a lot more than 5 decks, if we're going to be perfectly honest, in 2017. But I'm glad I really only had to narrow it down to my top 5. Otherwise, this would be like 45-minute video. Not gonna lie, it'd be pretty long. I acquired a crap ton of decks in 2017, but surprisingly, there were just really a handful compared to my entire collection that I just kept gravitating to. I kept using over and over and over again. And so this deck wasn't released in 2017, but I did acquire it in 2017 and fairly early on in the year. And I just kept using it over and over and over again. I saw this deck actually in a YouTube video by Imogen where she was talking about, like, at least I think it was Imogen. Oh God, whose channel did I watch this on? Oh, it may have been Vix's channel, New Age Hipster. Crap. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm so sorry. I saw this on one of your channels. By the way, love you both. Saw this on someone's channel. They were going through top 5 decks that they had that were kind of like underutilized for them that they were going to go back and really use. And I saw this deck and I was like, oh my God, the 70s vibe coming off of this deck. I have to have it. And that is the Sacred Rose Tarot. I'm sorry I don't have the box for you guys. My dog ate it. No joke. 2017 was a hard year for me. At least he didn't eat the deck. He left the deck intact but ate the box around it. So she's been living in a tarot bag for like the second half of the year. But this is the backing. Super gorgeous. And here is the actual deck itself. Just very vibrant. The colors of this thing. I think because I'm an artist and I, obviously love bright colors, that this deck just like grabbed me and wouldn't let go. So I just saw this imagery and I was like, yes, I am feeling that deck. I have to have that deck. And it's been surprisingly easy for me to just really get messages from this guy quickly. I do kind of, the faces are a little creepy. I'll admit to that. There's a lot of, blank eyes, blank, creepy white eyes, throughout this deck. However, the bright colors of each of the suits, like, look at that. Just the action, you can feel the energy coming off of it. So this was definitely a favorite of the decks that I acquired this past year. And so that was the Sacred Rose Tarot. You can pick it up off of Amazon. This next one was actually released in 2017. And I have loved it so much because I have used this deck not just in my tarot practice, but also in my spiritual practice too, as far as meditating and trying to manifest. When it comes to working with archetypes, meditating on a tarot card is fantastic. And this deck has been freaking amazing for that purpose. And that is Ethany's Bad Bitches Tarot. I mean, can we appreciate the rose gold here for a moment? So stunning. I did a walkthrough of this deck, so I'll link that in the description box below. Her signature bees on the back. And this deck is nothing but archetypes. So for anyone who knows me personally, I may not look it because you don't ever see me with makeup on this channel, but I do love makeup and I love fashion. Not on me, but I love it on other people. I love seeing it. And watching America's Next Top Model was a huge guilty pleasure for me in my 20s. Absolutely would watch every season without fail. Because it's the artist in me. I love seeing the shots. I love watching how they stage it. I think human beings are gorgeous. And we're just all fabulous looking. Everybody's face is unique, even the ones that are similar. It's just the style and look of an individual, a person by themselves, I think is just a beautiful thing. And maybe it's because I've taken way too many life drawing classes and way too many, you know, lifestyle study classes, but it's the artist in me at heart. I will always gravitate and love anything artistic, and fashion is just an artistic expression. And so tarot decks, especially this one in particular, mirrors art and fashion with the archetypes. And I love it. And it's all women. You guys, this whole deck. I mean, look. Damn. Like, damn. So I have been using one of my favorite cards in this deck, by the way. She's just so freaking cool. So I have been using this deck to channel archetypal energy because the connection is right there. This is women, okay? And expressing through fashion, but expressing the archetype in the energy of the card. So being able to channel that into whatever it was that I was working on was so easy to do with this deck. So it worked for me. I mean, God, another favorite card in this deck. That High Priestess is fucking phenomenal. She's just stunning. Just stunning. So it was really easy for me to use this deck, not just in my tarot practice, but in other areas of my spiritual practice. Damn, that string card. I just loved it. And for months there, all through really September, October, all of fall, I was using this deck to do my daily pulls. Now, another deck that was released this year that, again, you guys, like, I really love these bright, vibrant decks. Like, I can't help that. So it was released this year. I got it this year. I pre-ordered this deck, and that is the Vivid Journey Tarot by Jessica Allaire. And this deck, oh my gosh. And I mean, it's the Vivid Journey deck. So it is bright, it is fun, it is colorful. This purple back, like, I did a walkthrough of this deck as well. It's one of the first videos up on my channel, so I'll link that below as well. But this purple back, like, look at that. So freaking gorgeous. And so the colors on this one as well. I love the art style too. Just grabs me. And this is definitely a stylized off of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, so it's going to be very beginner friendly. If you don't want something as traditional as using the Rider-Waite, this is like a phenomenal starter deck. Oh, just the vivid colors. And she uses very basic symbology here. Like the artwork isn't overly complicated. You're not bogged down with symbols. You just, bam, quick images, but full of vibrancy. And that's what I just love. You can look at that sun card. You're not bombarded with a naked baby. It's just the sun. Oh, and sunflowers, which happen to be one of my favorite flowers, by the way. So this one just was an absolute love, especially in the beginning of the year. I used it quite a bit. Now, this next deck, it's an indie deck, and it wasn't really technically released in 2017, I don't think, but I did snag one of its last print runs at the beginning of this year in 2017, around February, and that is the Idiosyncradeck. And this is a solid vector deck. So if you like vector artwork, this deck, man, I'm so sad to be sharing this with you guys because now it is out of print. I'm sorry. But she does have an oracle deck. It's called the Amethyst Oracle. It's really good. I believe you can still snag that. But here's the back, these 3 crystals. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. Just, I love vector graphics to begin with. And I just think Jessica did an amazing job on this deck. I love that sunset on the world. The major arcana especially. It's just the images are so easy to grab onto. This is a really unique strength card. You know, that flower blossoming out of rock, essentially. Different kind of strength. But message is still there. And even without people, like the images, you can still see like the chariot, the movement of the water and the journey. You can still get the message. Flamingos. Tower being a volcano. I feel like this was just perfectly done with the images that were chosen. So this was a really fun deck to work with, and also one that I used pretty heavily in the beginning of the year, especially for spring. Like, this was my go-to deck for like February and March. So let's see. The last one that I have to share with you is fairly new in terms of I've only really had it the last couple months here of 2017, but this is one that I backed on Kickstarter. So it was released and picked up here in 2017, and that is ArCANIS, a modern animal tarot deck. And this is the box, and here's the backing. Now, this was created by David DePasquale, and he is currently working at come on, sir. I think he's currently at DreamWorks, maybe. But he's an animator, you know, working in the industry here in California. And so this deck that he put together, I love it. And this is kind of one of the fun things that's come to light in 2017. The fact that everything has gone so mainstream that we're not getting traditional professional tarot readers creating tarot decks anymore. It's not just us creating tarot decks. It's other folks that are dipping their toe into tarot who are really amazing artists that are just branching out on their own without, you know, pairing up with a more traditional tarot reader, or they're starting to get into tarot, and by way of learning, they create their own tarot deck. And because we have such access, or we have more access to be able to self-publish now, we have crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, and we could crowdfund in other ways, you know, purchasing into decks, backing the artists and these creators. We have a plethora of options now as far as tarot decks go. It's really freaking exciting. I didn't do a walkthrough on this on YouTube. I'm really sorry, you guys. I did do a walkthrough on Instagram and I saved it. So we'll see if I can't edit and upload it. But here's the deck. And I'm sure I've talked about it in favorites videos here this past year. But it is freaking amazing. Again, vibrant, but very minimalistic with the symbolism. Or there's a lot of symbolism there compared to, there's not, the images aren't so complex that you're immediately overrun. You know, bam, you have these really clean, gorgeous, but poppy images, and they just grab at your intuition. You're like, all right, I got these messages. You know, you're using the traditional meanings of the cards, obviously, because this one is also based off of the Rider-Waite-Smith system, but you're able to pull from the images, I feel like, a lot easier, because even though they're vibrant, they're very clean and fun. They're freaking fun. Like, I had so much fun with the tarot this year. Oh, there you go. The Ten of Swords. And just the color palette he uses too. Like, this was just a really, really fun, gorgeous deck. Very large deck too, which I really appreciate. Even though I have really small hands, I do like small decks. When it comes to really gorgeous imagery though, like, I really appreciate having the larger size to draw from. So I'm not having to squint at the detail. I'm getting old, you guys. My eyesight's not really there. You see the glasses? Come on. So that was ArCANIS. And I believe I will link his website below. You can still get a deck from him, even though you didn't back it on Kickstarter, if you weren't able to snag a deck during the campaign. So that was my top 5 tarot decks acquired during 2017. There was only one that wasn't like brand new as far as release, because it did come out in the 70s. However, it was new for me, and I really love the Sacred Rose. But the rest of them, I don't know, you guys. I really had a lot of fun backing indie creators this year and self-publishers, and so that's what I was really excited to get into, and that's where most of my decks from 2017 came from. I'm not sure if that'll be the same in 2018. We'll see. But what were your top 5 decks for 2017? I'm curious to see. Leave it in the comments below, or send a link to your video response to Ethany's Day 2 of the 31 Days of Tarot. All right, guys, that's it for today's video, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video for Day 3. Until then, blessed be.